Hey, kitty girls, it's Sunday, March 2nd, 2025, and welcome to Cubs Out Loud Drag Race T-Time, episode number 5 of season 17. We're going to be discussing the wicked Wiz of Oz and Heavens to Betsey. And for those of you that don't know, my name's Gary. With me is my ever fabulous co-host.
Hello, everyone. It's Damon. Hi, and welcome.
Yes, we're going to be discussing the most recent 2 episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race flagship season 17. Uh, yeah. So it's the rusical, and then it's another design challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes. So nothing new and inventive here necessarily. I mean, slight tweaks, changes, twists in that case, but I uh, I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
There's that.
I will say I appreciate the Wizard of Oz or Wizard of Oz, Wicked, like smashed into like chorus line. The theater queen in me is very happy.
Yes.
was very like, oh, that's cute. That's a cute little way to do this.
Although
Yeah.
I mean, it was an attempt.
I would not call this one of like the best like musicals we've had. I wouldn't
Correct.
call it the worst, but um, it's not like out there. But I appreciate the little twists of like making it very much a chorus line esque like auditioning for role kind of thing with Michelle Visage as a talking head, like the voice from beyond.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Like, I think they needed to lean harder into the chorus line part of it
They could have.
and make it make sense as to why every single character is going for the role that they are,
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm.
obviously it's their role. Like,
Yeah.
that's where I was like, I don't know. I think I would have enjoyed it better if there were multiple witches, like
Mm,
multiple Dorothys.
mm,
Do you know what I mean? Like if they were competing against each other.
right. Maybe. Mm,
I don't know. Anyways,
I don't know.
but suffice it to say, it was a musical. I don't think it's gonna be charting or anything on iTunes, or Spotify, but you know. So with that being said, why don't we jump into our first segment?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Racers, start your engines, and may the best drag queen win.
Unless you have bursitis, or you have torn your rotator cuff in your shoulder and you can't lift your arm anymore.
Like this I will own this was like the first this most recent one was the first episode I was really honestly paying attention. I will own that. And I was just like, oh yeah, that's this. That's like going like out to the side even.
Correct.
That's like, oh baby, oh no. No longer are we doing this because we can't anymore.
Well, we don't know. We don't know like if she can't or she's just refusing to.
Maybe.
Now I will say this for the most recent episode, Mother was showing off her poussoir,
Mm-hmm.
and we haven't seen that in I don't know how many seasons.
Mm-hmm.
like I was shocked that she was wearing an outfit that was somewhat appropriate to the theme of the episode for the
Mm-hmm.
challenge. Like all of it was going together. She looked good and she was tucked. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is happening here on this day? I'm like, she is not in a flouncy dress. She is not like,
This
anyways.
doesn't look like something that's going to immediately come off. Like half of it's going to come off so that she can sit in her sweatpants, as it were. Okay, Utica. Yes.
um I think I mean there is a part of me that wonders if the guest prompted like the behavior, as in like
Mm,
I can afford to suck it up if this 82-year-old like fashion person that
Uh-huh.
I look up to is coming to the show. Like if there was a
True.
bit of like personal grace to be like, I can,
I can do this one time.
right. As
Or tonight. I
opposed
can do this
as
today.
opposed to other guests where they're like, who are you? Um,
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it right now. Um, like I know who she is now, but when she was on there, I was like, who the fuck is Dochi? But I know who she is now, and I apologize.
Girl, that's okay. I just sent you a link for Lizzo's newest video. I don't know if you saw that.
Uh-huh. I hadn't yet. I hadn't clicked on it yet.
But I was in the same camp where like I think Lizzo was on as a guest, and I was like, I don't know who that is. And then I know the whole world was like, say what? I was like, I don't know, like not in my room. Now I know. So anyways, that being said, so my apologies everyone. The title of this segment is Put the Pedal to the Metal. I'm a little off kilter in case y'all can't tell. So this is going to be our overall thoughts on these two episodes in three specific areas: our serves, swerves, and nerves. Serves are the positives. Swerves are the things you probably should have avoided on this race. And nerve could be positive, could be negative. It really depends, but it's pretty extreme. So with that being said, let's dive into the serves. Damon, who are you giving serves to, or what for, I guess? Sorry.
Chewing every time. Got to keep that blood sugar up. Anyway, um, um, I'm first of all, I'm giving for episode 8. I put Anya's whiz
Okay.
and meaning it to like Anya's rizz as in like charisma.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what I'm going for. Her performance was really, really great. I loved um, in the Wizard of Oz. I point blank period. No one else could have done that. No one else could have been Harlem Dorothy. Like it was almost like they said, "Here you go," and like here you go. Like
Really? Not
yeah,
Lana? Not
girl.
Corey?
No,
I mean, there are some other girls of color that could have had the part.
could have.
Or you could have like let
You
somebody,
could have got. You could have. Yeah, it could have
someone
been
could have
like.
pushed boundaries. I mean, Susie too
Yeah, yeah.
could have,
Uh huh.
tried.
Mhm. Mhm.
I can't even keep a straight face.
Don't even try. Like, honey, no. It's just not happening. It's just not. I mean, I don't know. Could there have been an attempt of someone else? Maybe, but it would not have been as
Right.
impactful.
No, I hear you on that. I hear
Um,
you on that.
like, imagine her and Sam switching. Like, no, just mm 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 mm. Sam was the share.
I know. I could see Anya doing that.
I could potentially see Arnie doing that, but I can't see Sam doing that.
Well, I mean, I could see her. I could see her attempting it.
It would be an attempt.
It's good to have a perspective. For those of you that are not patrons, that was an inside joke from the pre-show, so you'll just have to listen to that.
You have to listen to that patron. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. $1 or more, you can become a patron. Get all of those fun little bits. We are shady as fuck.
No, so I mean, I hear you. Yeah, definitely. I will say, Anya really kind of was the standout in terms of. I mean, honestly, her portrayal felt like it came out of a show.
Right. Well, we know she has. If you've been following or seeing stuff, she's a singer. Like she's a I don't know if she's been trained in theater or if this is her like just all self-taught kind of thing, but she does theater. Like there's a video of her singing maybe this time from I think it's from Cabaret. Anyway, it's been a minute. And then she was there's one where she's performing. I don't think she's singing it. I don't remember. But like I've only seen a couple of like one-off videos of her from like olden days, I'll call it like that, like previous performances before she was on the show.
Right.
And then maybe this time one is one where she's actually singing live. And I'm like,
Interesting.
okay, girl, get it. Get it, get it, get it. And then Sirs for episode 9, put down helping a sister. And this goes to Lexi and Sam, specifically Sam in this situation,
Mm-hmm.
where they're having this. Lexi is having her, I think, overthinking moment and not being able to start, which we've all been there. We've had that, like where you don't even know where to begin and you have all these ideas, but you're not sure how to take it. And you just need someone to catch you so that you can like
Right.
focus on something else. And I appreciated Sam taking a moment and becoming like the mother for a bit and helping her sister out. Cause I mean, she didn't have to. And she did, but she did. And I do appreciate that very much. So
Well,
definitely give him
and I think that is the difficulty of this type of a competition. The longer you're in it, the more you get to know your like contested family,
Uh-huh.
and the harder it can be to not want to be of assistance to somebody and yet also struggle with the whole like I mean, I think Sam even says it like I need to focus on me.
Uh-huh.
Like I can't be like helping everybody.
Right.
And we've seen that happen repeatedly over the seasons where someone who's really good usually comes to sewing and design, like is helping other people. And sometimes it's a little bit detrimental because then they don't get to everything they need to get to.
Uh-huh.
So
Yep.
no, that's fair. I did think that was a really good moment. I liked that in Pit Stop, Raja, by the way, for those of you who haven't seen it, Raja's the guest. You should go watch.
Yes.
Raja and Monet talk briefly about that they are familiar. And how did Monet call it? The moans? When the moans
Uh-huh.
get you, meaning the hormones. And I was like, oh, interesting. This is a known thing, like amongst the community because of, performing alongside that there can be these, highs and lows. So I thought that was really good that they were like, yeah, it's kind of natural. Like, not only is it a pressure cooker environment situation to be competing and putting pressure on yourself and trying to deliver, but also realizing you've got other things going on, at the same time and trying to balance all of that out. And
Oh, right.
I think Lexi owned that they were putting a lot of pressure on themselves because they had done some things previously and didn't feel like they were hitting it.
Right.
I'll be curious to see if that carries over into the next episode
Uh-huh.
because yet again, they put something together. They did really well. They actually got highly complimented on it. Did not win.
Uh-huh.
Spoiler. So, yeah, there's that. Understood. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. How about you, Gary?
In number 8, I put Sam's Rising Star. Sam is definitely one of the front leaders of the pack of the queens that are remaining. Like, yes, she comes from a pageant background, but she is the legacy of the pageant package and has learned a lot of things and really started to come into understanding the last piece, which I guess a lot of pageant queens, at least that's the story we keep getting told, is they have to learn there is to learn to be ugly, to be goofy, to be silly, to be
Uh-huh.
unpolished, like to stop trying to be perfect.
Right.
So I thought that was really good. How that came about in the rusical. I think she could have pushed it farther, but to be fair, like that's like asking a vegan to just suddenly start eating steak. Like,
True.
It's pretty extreme. So like there's going to be a journey for them with that.
I enjoyed her like loosening up to the point where she was actively like calling out girls and shit. Like I did like that. I did like that.
Now, I will say that was funny and Untucked where she decided to grandstand and have a moment, and Arietti wasn't having it. So then she calls out Arietti, and Arietti's like, doesn't say something, and then she gets double called out, and then she's like, oh, no, 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 what I said was, like, and Sam's not really phased, and she just keeps, like, having
Mm-hmm.
this moment, and I was like, here's the Kiki. That's what that is. It was funny. It was funny. No, I agree. In episode 9, I just said the prenup looks.
Mm.
I think of the 3 categories, the prenup looks was the best executed and, like, enjoyable as a category.
Okay.
I think those 3 rose to the top.
I will give you that. Yeah, I would give that. I'm just starting. I was remembering the 3, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
they definitely felt to me like they were right out of a book. Like,
Huh?
they were legitimately well put together designs and items, and so, like, to me that was the best representation. It may not be, because I don't know, Betsey's style, because I'm not that familiar
Mm-hmm.
with her. I've heard of her before, but not, and
Yeah, yeah.
so, like, to me, as just like an outside observer, I was like, I also felt like the other 2 were too close to each other. Like,
Mm,
there was a lot of pink in the, what did they call it? Flapper
yeah.
grunge
No,
or punk?
punk grunge flappers.
Right. I think there was a lot of, like, aesthetically, there seemed to be a lot of pink in that, even though that wasn't really quite what it was. It was very confusing to me.
Yeah. And then punk, not punk. Betsy's prom.
Betsy's prom, correct.
Yeah.
Um,
Betsy's prom was definitely pink. Like that was all pink. That was
yes,
pretty much pinkety pink, 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 pink.
correct.
And it felt bad that the 3 girls that went into that, none of them were great. And that's what I'm gonna say.
Well, I mean,
Great seamstresses, great designers, great.
I thought
Yeah.
you meant, like, their looks were not that great.
Their looks weren't great either,
No,
but
I know.
their looks were pretty bad. I of the 3, Lana's surprisingly was the best.
Yeah.
Of the 3.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to swerves. Sorry. David, what are you giving us swerve for in episode 8?
Acacia's Dorothy. I'm sorry. That was just bad. And I'm going to talk about it a little later, but Adam kind of hit the nail on the head with, like, this is drag. You had an opportunity to really, like, take this to a different level, and you didn't.
Right.
I love that she sounded great, but when she took the ballad, I guess, which is, I guess, sort of, I think it was, anyway, it doesn't matter. But, like, I get the music was pretty good, but, like, that was only half of it, and she never gave on the other halves at all. So,
All right, so I'm going to say this. I'm not defending Acacia, but that ballad, Mama, it was weird.
the ballad wasn't so.
I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying for the rusical, like, it was such a let me grab the handbrake and pull back hard. Like, it didn't have a good transition. It was weird.
No.
Like, it just kind of came out of nowhere, and I thought it was the end of the rusical, and then it wasn't, because then, of course, we had to, like, pivot, and we had to do the chorus line and the kick line and the thing, and they were in the green and the blah, blah, and I was just like, like, it felt like a pothole. I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, that was just...
It was a very odd choice. If they're putting it to anything else, I think they're trying to make it like, if you know a chorus line, it's the "What I Did for Love," like, song from a chorus line.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway, it's
No,
fine.
no. You're not wrong about the outline.
Yeah.
Like of
But
a
again,
musical, like that part I get. But I'm sorry.
yeah,
I guess I'm thinking now. I'm thinking about Acacia's performance of it, and I'm like, no.
yeah. Again, it's not. There were performance issues. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, her performance was not great. Like,
Right.
the way she emoted and did anything with the song was very weird and just off and underwhelming.
Correct.
And then add on that the fact that it's a ballad where and she is on stage by herself.
Correct.
It is just her. Like
of all the roles, in theory, that is the star role.
mm-hmm.
But it wasn't.
Who else wanted it? Was it Susie?
Susie.
Yeah, it was Susie.
Because they went back and forth about it.
Yeah, I remember. I wrote it down. I was like, yeah.
And
Acacia's digging her heels in. I was like, yes, do it.
And of course, Acacia was like, well, fine, then you'll go home. I mean, like, boop. So that is the thing that happened. I mean, but like it was I don't know if Susie would have done better though.
So
that's
you
not
got
what to say. Susie would have been better, but I don't know if she would have delivered what we are probably thinking it needed.
Right. And again, you have to realize that if they had switched, Acacia would have been the Green Witch.
Correct.
Oh, that would have been bad.
I mean, honestly, if I had my choice, I would say Anya should have been Dorothy.
The Dorothy at the end?
Dorothy, Kansas.
Okay, Kansas Dorothy.
Because she would have what Acacia got. Because then she would have been able to deliver.
Right.
She would have brought Black Dorothy to the stage. And sold it like
I feel accurate, fair, like fact. I think that would have been really interesting. I have to go back and I have like when you move someone, you have to move the piece back. You got to go like, well, then that would have meant that Acacia would have been Harlem Dorothy, and that would have been I'd feel that would have been just like a crash, like a fire, like just.
Well, no. You could make Acacia the Green Witch, and you could make Susie into Harlem Dorothy. I mean, honestly, the only way it would work is to reshuffle the whole cast, probably. Reconsider it. But anyway,
so. Just that's a lot of. It just felt really. It was underwhelming, and I was. It could have gone in such a different direction, and it didn't.
Correct.
And then I'm gonna give for episode 9 Linda's catastrophe runway. I love Lydia in a way. I appreciate the sort of aesthetic I think she has going for her, and I will appreciate her because Rasha kind of talked about this in the Untucked about she's gonna go with the flow about it. She has a general idea, but she's gonna also let the patterns and whatever guide her. But the fact that it guided her to this, there were so many things that were weird and off and wrong about this. Like the face kini, which wasn't really a face kini, was more like a cap. And then she had hair, and she had a hat on. Like what the fuck? And then she had all the fur print, animal, cat print, fur thing going on. And there was just too much of it just all over the place. And it wasn't connected to anything. And then you had this sort of bodysuit that had the longer sleeves and the different pattern and this sort of semi see-through. And then you had this white, pink white satin, glistening thing that was just terrible. It just all didn't work. And again, I get maybe what she was trying to go for. Mm-hmm. No, I don't. I can't say that. I won't say that. It just was weird and off and wrong. And I get that sometimes that's maybe what she wants to go for. but in this instance, it was too off. Like I think that's one of the things that Betsey kind of said. Like I'm all for like things being off kilter and what have you, but it just was too off for her. She still has an outfit. I remember that's what Betsey said. And I'm like, yeah. There were too many things on top of each other, weird layers that just didn't work together. And there's a I need to edit moment.
Mhm.
I really need her to edit.
We
Please.
all have choices. Some of us make the wrong ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
That right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. That's very fair.
Carrie.
Please forgive what's in episode 9. I think you understand. Actually, it should. Well, no. I got it right. Anyways, episode 8. I feel like I'm like trying to correct something before it even happens. So, episode 8. I called it the Corey King clunkery.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna update it. I'm just gonna add it. I'm sorry. I can't keep it sitting there. Can't.
That's fine.
I can't.
That's fine.
I can't. Anyway.
So it was not good. It was not good in the rusical. It was just. It's almost like she's not trying.
Yes.
As strange as that is to say. I mean, she tried and she fought or whatever. She wanted this role. Then, she ended up being a flying monkey and blah, blah, blah. She was monkey number 2.
I know she was monkey number 2, but which one did she want?
I can't remember. Like, she
She
said
wanted
that
to
she
be
wanted a role and then she didn't end up getting it.
Oh, she wanted to be the good witch, the one that Jules did.
Yes.
Because of the whole, she's got body. Like,
Yes. And I have body. So obviously that's good enough justification.
could you imagine her singing that role when she can't fucking sing? Like, period.
Well,
Girl, that.
I know. Delusion. Anyways, so then there's episode 9, and I said the same thing. The Corey King clunkery times 2. Like it kind of continued on. And the whack part of this one is she had an idea.
Uh-huh.
And then she ended up changing it. And she decided to not try something different, to go with what she knows.
Oh, my eyes roll so hard right there.
Even though Mother said, now you're not going to deliver another one of those short dresses, are you? Like, told you to your face.
Like, if there has ever been a RuPaul, like, don't do that moment, she can't actively say, don't, stop, no. She can't say that. She pretty much said that.
Right. Agreed. So yeah, that was kind of weird
Are
to
you
me.
sure? That is a no. Please don't.
I mean, it's funny when Raja says it.
Are you sure?
But when Mother says it, you're like, oh, better rethink it.
Mm-hmm. And you did. Till you didn't.
Yeah, she reversed it was like she was playing Uno. She's like, oh, I'm going to reverse it again back on you. It's like, no, that's not how that works.
Baby, no.
Not how that works.
Oh, no.
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 All right, so let's move on to Nerve. Episode 8. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I think I know what this is about. What are you giving Nerve for?
I'm giving Nerve for the queens doing like the little post-it notes.
Okay.
In the Untucked and ranking the queens and having to walk in and see it. I was like, that takes some nerve, y'all. Y'all safety queens coming in there and being like, oh, we're gonna pretend that we think that Susie's gonna be in the bottom and that's gonna whatever. I mean, I feel like that was a cop out, but whatever. Like, but I love how the girl, like Susie comes in and it's immediately like, what is this? What's going on here? And I'm like, yeah, Hmm. I guess they proved their point, as it were. The safe girls proved their point, and I gotta give it. It took some nerve
I
to
mean,
actively write it down and post it and put it on the mirror that everyone was going to look at.
I
Because
will
it was there the whole time.
I will say this. It is super obvious in the Untucks this season that there's a lot of camaraderie
Mm-hmm.
because these bitches have no problem turning Untucked into fucking recess. And so they're like, okay, let's go hide. Let's
Mm-hmm.
do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the latest episode was the fake fight. And
Uh-huh.
they were just like, nah, 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 like, screaming at each other. And they were showing the camera angle from behind, like,
With
the
the girls waiting to come in.
right behind the sugar walls, and the queens and the other contestants clearly hearing them yelling at each other, like having this fight.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite part was the doo, 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 like when they walked into the room, Jules doesn't get to like have a nice entrance. Instead, it is like walking into this thing, and I was like, wow, y'all be playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did like that, though. I did really like it.
No, but I mean,
like it.
it's funny.
It's
But I was like,
entertaining.
but I was like, boy, they are really like amping it up this particular season. They are like, we are going to give it to you. And then the little camera thing, like running around the room and asking all the queens, who's going home? Who should go home? Who should go home? Who should go home? Well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not revealing. Who should go home? These are the votes. Well, I'm not saying who said what. I was like,
Uh-huh.
you shady bitches. Like, what is this? And the
Love
thing
it.
is, they're doing it literally feet from each other. I'm like, you mean to tell me y'all can't hear each other?
Right.
Like, okay.
Baby.
Anyways.
I mean, at that point, some of the girls had their headphones in, so maybe they didn't hear.
Fair.
Anyway, just me. Anyway, that's my thought.
Moving on to episode 9.
Oh, yeah. The kiss. That took some nerve. Makeup had a potential to get smudged, which it did, especially on Lydia. But like the somewhat, like
No.
not like oh my god, like whatever.
No,
But
that's
like
not what I'm focusing on. My thought is like, you better go for it because this
yeah,
is it.
yeah.
Like,
And
one of
that's
you's
kind of what
going
I felt.
home, so
Yeah.
how many fucks do you have left to give? You should have none. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I did. I loved it. I was like, that's nice. Like, no matter what, like, cool, good on y'all. Like, we're gonna take this moment because it also has, I don't think, has ever really been truly done. We've had moments of like fake outs, and the closest was like Raja and
I
Carmen
was
with the
just
like
gonna
kiss
say
on the
because Raja
yeah.
brought it up and was like, I mean, well, we were the OG, and that just kind of kills me. How she's like, you're welcome. 14
Mm-hmm.
years later, y'all get to like do it again or whatever.
Exactly. And just I was happy. I enjoyed it. And I loved it, I think, mostly because of the fact that um I doubt it was planned. I think it may have been in the moment.
Right.
Maybe it was a little planned. I don't know. But it
Right.
felt very not planned. Um it's one of the first times where we've seen a showmance reveal itself in front of the judges.
Yeah.
So yay,
Agreed.
that part. Gary.
Um,
I feel like you're gonna say something that you're not.
no.
Okay.
I was thinking ahead. So I'm giving nerve to Adam Lambert's backstage realness in episode 8. He came back during Untucked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say this, and this doesn't have anything to do with the show. That man, that person, is so coming into his like whatever the astrology is. His sun is rising, whatever you want to call it, baby. Like, he truly is all these years after American Idol coming into his own. He just got done with Cabaret, which in real time he just got done with Cabaret. That was yet to come when he recorded this, like the new album. Like, he's really turned into something. And I mean, I've seen him in a concert. I'm like proud of him for being authentically who he is. But I appreciated like in the Untucked, he was just very down to earth. Like
Right.
of all the guests judges that they've had, I feel like he was the most like, we're just hanging,
Yeah.
and like I think there's like a sense of something, a connection with the contestants because Adam comes from being through the gauntlet of Hollywood and being
Mm-hmm.
out and, being on different shows and, all of that, like that chews you up and spits you out. And at the same time is like, yes, we are gay people. In the broader sense and what we present and all of this is really drag and so like in the theater and all that stuff. So I don't know, I just really 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 appreciated that because there's a bit of an artifice, I think, a surface level to some of the guest judges when they come back and visit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean each one is its kind of its own unique flavor. Some of them are really
Right.
good. I mean they do give some good criticism, critique, feedback in that moment, but I felt like this one was just very much like we're just gonna sit and have a chat.
Right.
So, and I guess what I'm projecting honestly is like I would love to be able to do that. Like I would love to like run into them someplace and be able to just like sit and have a coffee. Do you know what I mean? And just like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
talk. So,
Yeah.
anyways, episode 9, Jules' runway leap. So here's why I'm saying it do take nerve. I'm also going to say this. I didn't like it. Not for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not mad about that she won.
Okay.
Because it took a leap of faith to go with the direction that she did, to go with it. Because, I mean, it's edited, but what they showed us was she didn't know what to do about all the fur segments because she didn't have enough to do everything she wanted.
Right.
And then her pivot was, fuck it, I'll just do all of them.
Yep.
And she's like, it might come out like a Muppet mess. And that's the part that I don't like about it because I do kind of agree that when she walked out, I was like, oh dear.
It's time to.
I was like, what are you, the Corella of Muppets? Like what happened here? Like you just like, but I didn't think it was disgusting or ugly. I was just like,
right.
It's not for me. And
Right.
when Betsey said, if I close my eyes, I see this in the collection, I was like, oh, she won.
Yep.
I was like, because that is the thing about that particular episode is like, well, yes, Mother gets to be the one that just decides. I don't know how Rue overrides in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think it's very rare that a guest judge actually gets to have that much weight in the decision making.
Right.
But so
I'm looking at the picture now, so it's over here on my other screen, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I can. It had the potential to go really bad.
Oh
like,
yeah,
it could have been terrible.
right.
But it didn't quite hit that like awful level. It I probably would have given this serve. I was almost thinking about serves, but I saw you were going to talk about it. Because I do really enjoy what she did here. From a like what was it? Shit, I'm about to say punk rock grunge, but that's not what punk grunge
Correct.
kind of thing. It kind of all makes sense. Although, hey y'all, hey Drag Race, a finger wave wig is not the only wig you need for like to give a 20s look. Like let's talk about that. Like they did a lot of like short, kind of bobs, like as well. Like you can do a bob and not have it be finger wave, and that be like 1920s. Just between y'all. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
I'm just so tired of seeing these damn finger wave wigs. But anywho,
Yeah.
I do really like it, and I do think it, like you said, it took a leap of faith to do what she did. Because I think you have to really think about, because I'm looking at it now and I'm looking like you have to think about how are you setting the pattern because you have three very unique colors here. And it looks like, just looking at this, that they apparently had a lot of that, like white or yellow, and with the black like flecks, almost like spotted.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of it because um what's her name? Lydia had the whole like cat fucking bullshit tails,
Oh,
and that was
okay.
all of it.
Right.
So I don't look. Oh God, hold on. I'm gonna pull this picture over here really quickly. Huh. Sorry. I'm just noticing that there's this blue fabric, and as
Mm-hmm.
it gets down further to the stage, it almost looks like it is blurring into the stage.
Hmm.
But anyway.
I mean, I will say this: Jules luckily had the skills to pull off the construction
Mm-hmm.
to make that thing as it was, so that it turned out the way that it did, and I think that's
Right.
what saved her.
Yeah.
Because
Agreed.
if you didn't have those skills, then it probably would have been a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think it took nerve for her to pull that together and to do that, and I'm glad that like she won with it. It's not my preference, but
Yeah.
um,
But you weren't a judge.
that's correct. Okay, so with that, do we want to move on to the next segment?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right, kitten. So this the time that we talk about snaps and eye rolls, aka the highs and the lows. So these are the hits and misses that kind of stood out to us that we wanted to draw some attention to. I feel like we're going to do a little bit of repetition in some of this part because of our earlier conversations. So, Damon, what are you giving snaps to?
Yeah. I said Adam Lambert telling it. And that's sort of like we were talking about it earlier with Adam and his like very casual conversation with the queens about the realities of being gay in the Hollywood. And that's part of it. And then also him talking to Acacia, I talked about this earlier, about like, this is Drag Race, like you should do this. Because I feel like, I'm going to go a little bit of a tangent, like we're at season 17
Mm-hmm.
and these girls should know better. A lot of these girls should like could have potentially been raised on Drag Race. They have the potential to have been like watching it when they were in their teen years and what have you. And it just feels weird to me that we have so many girls that don't seem to understand that you're going to need to like do a lot more than you
Mm-hmm.
think you're going to need to do in order to present something on a stage or a runway.
Right.
Like again, Corey, um, love you to death, but that fucking breastplate is the wrong fucking color. And if you're gonna wear it that way, you need to cover your fucking arms.
Right. Right.
I'm just like, because it immediately takes me out of the look when I can see like the fucking like seam of the breastplate
Right.
on your sides. Like, I get that you want to have the curvilicious body, and that's great for you, but like, if you have to learn how to wear things so that it's not as obvious. Um, talk to Jimbo. Talk to some other girls. Like, you need to like either
Right.
find like chokers or something, like make it work. You can make it work.
Right.
So fucking tired of seeing like floppy fucking like
No, I hear you on that.
floppy breastplates. Oh, and learn to fucking sew. God damn it, all of you, like fucking learn to sew. You can't be on this show and not know how to put a fucking design together. Design an outfit. Go to a class. Go act. Go get some acting lessons. Go get some singing lessons. Go get some um, sewing lessons, and go get some designing lessons. Like, all of those things are elements that will, and improv.
I was waiting.
Go, all of those elements are going to be on this show at some point in time, and depending on how long you're going to be on here, you're going to have the potential. The fact that we're about to do a roast, so you're going to have the right jokes. That's another class you probably should be taking. because you know the um, reading challenge is coming. You know that's something that's happening. So like get. I know it could be expensive, and I know it's not. It has potential, but like if you want to succeed on this show, you have to at least have the fundamentals.
Well, you need to be prepared.
Also, that.
I mean, that's what you're saying is like be prepared, follow the Boy Scout motto, like take the classes, go through the things, like watch the YouTube videos, practice
Mm-hmm.
on your own, learn
Yeah,
and hone your craft so when you show up, you actually can deliver.
yeah. Like the fact that gonna get mad. The fact that fucking Susie Toot doesn't know how to make a garment, and she's literally doing things from like the 1920s, like that pisses me off.
Mm.
Because to me, I'm like you're essentially grabbing things that are vintage that you probably can't get like off the rack.
Right.
So you're probably having to have those built or build them yourselves, and you should know how to build them yourselves.
Well, so what's wild to me is I think we've entered this newer era, and it's probably because Drag Race has been around for so long. I feel like a lot of these queens are like, I just need to make it to the end.
Mm.
Like they have this warped concept of the adage, like if I build it, they will come. So it's like in their mind, they're like, I just need to make it to the finale.
Mm.
And then it's like I'll win because obviously I'm highly talented. And I'm like, huh? Like what a weird ass way to go
I
about
mean,
it, because that
that's what
appears to
Coulter
be
thinks.
the excuse or the response when they're challenged on how do you not know how to sew, how do you not know how to design, how do you not know how fill in the blank. Like it's like they think well, I just need to get through, I just need to get by, like, and trust me, I understand that to a certain point, because some of the queens are like, whew, baby, I am so happy to be safe,
Yep.
and there is a part of me that's like, I hear you on that, because
Mm-hmm.
being safe means you get to survive another week. But guess what's gonna start happening? We're reaching the halfway point of the season, kids. So staying safe and surviving isn't going to work anymore, because now you actually have to deliver, because while you may be in the top half of the show, if you want to make it to the end, you actually have to show evolution and progress
Mm-hmm.
and skill. So
Mm-hmm.
like you know, your talent is actually being able to do things,
Yep.
not just running your mouth
Mm-hmm.
or taking a pretty picture.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways,
Anyway, just sorry, I had to rant there.
no, it's
Adam
okay.
November kind of got me he made me feel that. I'm giving him the snaps for that because that's sort of what I feel like sometimes the queens don't get reminded of. It's
Right.
like at the end of the day, this is still Drag Race, and I get it, all drag is valid, but still, all drag is valid, but you're also being judged and critiqued. So elevate yourself.
In other words, you can have a perspective.
You're gonna.
You wait, I'm gonna make you a soundbite, bitch. Like, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna clip that out for later. That's gonna be funny. Anyways,
Shady. Gary, how about you?
I'm giving snaps to Betsey Johnson,
I mean, fair.
one of the best guest judges of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Fun, very down to earth, a little kooky.
Yep.
Like, my favorite part is when they were talking and they were asking her for advice or whatever, and she's like, just have fun. Like it was so not an answer. Like, it was so funny to me where she was like, and I don't think she was being shady. It wasn't like intentionally trying to not help. I think she's just authentically her. And it was like, I mean, after she said that, I thought, oh, good luck. Because like that didn't really probably help you at all. Like you
At
hoped
all.
it would. But yeah, like I just really, really liked her. And I thought it was a fun Untucked when she came back. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like, I told them I wanted to have music. I wanted to dance. And so then they have music, air quotes music, and they dance. The reason why I say air quotes is I couldn't tell if the music was actually in the room or if like it was piped in or if it's done in post and they just like, you know,
we're gonna just dance around
because it was really like, hey Betsey, it's your birthday, you know what I mean? Like it was very that kind of energy, and you know, and it was fun. So Betsey Johnson was a hoot, to say the least. And
I love it. I loved her.
Yeah.
80 fucking 2. 80 fucking 2. I feel I agree with Monet, and like if I'm 82, don't put me on TV.
That was funny. Monet's like, don't be wheeling my house out there at 82. She's like, leave me home. Like,
yes. Anyway.
All right, let's move on to eye rolls.
So,
here we go again.
I said see below, because Gary, like, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. I'm probably going to chime in, but yeah. Gary.
Well, there's this.
I decline.
Because some people just don't listen when other people give them feedback, which is what this is about. And I think our attitude on this is a very much
Fix it, bitch.
like, what the hell? What the fuck? Episode number 8. My eye rolls are for, and I'm not going to scream it, even though I should because it's in all caps. No fucking wig glue. I don't
know if you're going to see this.
I don't.
But literally, nope, you can't see it. Anyway, I wrote down under everything. I said, glue your wigs down, and I wrote it in all caps because I was just like,
Mama, this is garbage.
How do you go into the lip sync for your life and not glue down a wig? It boggles my mind. And here's the thing. Have we set a new precedent? Because the wig comes off and she puts the wig back on. And then she stays.
I apologize to the Moharts in the room. I apologize to the Moharts in the room. Oh. Like it just, like I had to write it down because I was so fucking pissed. That's how fucking mad I was. Right. Because I was just like, didn't we just see this shit with Lana? Like, didn't we just fucking see that?
I know.
Maybe not, but whatever. But I'm just like, and then we learned in Untucked, if you watch it, you know, in broadcast order, you didn't see it, but clearly she was warned. She was told. She was asked by her boo.
Right. Lydia told Corey to her face. Puts a wig glue on. So I have this question to ask of RuPaul.
What the fuck you doing here?
I mean, she's gone now, but
I'm like, really?
It's just
anyway.
Again, this goes back to me about like earlier in my rant earlier regarding like this is season 17. Like,
right.
There was no, and the worst part was there was nothing there. Like I think I've seen a clip of it. I didn't see the full thing, but like Naomi is talking with Alaska about this. And I'm like, there's nothing there. There's no glue. There's no tape. There's nothing. There's not even a fucking like wig cap. Like nothing.
Right.
And you are a bald girl, like in real life. So like, do you just never glue your wigs down? or was this just like a moment? Like I can understand, right? Because like the wig had like the it was a very red color,
Uh-huh.
and had the like braided moments where if you were on lights, you probably would see like a like if you had like the tape, like you did the tape thing, you'd probably see it coming through. We've seen that happen before, but you still could have glued it down. It's a lace front. They're meant to be glued down. Like that's the point.
Or I'm going to pose a new theory. You were trying to go home.
I mean, the fact that you kept wearing those fucking ugly silver shoes after RuPaul fucking told you to stop wearing them.
But here's the thing. I'm like, but what if you were trying to go home? You were like, I'm good. I got my 5 minutes of fame. I'm not going to make it to the end. I can leave anytime now. And then Mother's like, nope. You get to stay, bitch. Because I need my lovers lip syncing against each other. I need that moment for production. Because let's talk about that. We get to the bottom three, and I, honest to God, thought it was going to be Corey and Anya. I honestly thought it was going to be the two of them, and Anya was going to send her ass packing. And when they said Anya was safe, I was like, what? And I was like, oh, is that what we're doing? I should have seen it coming. The lovers are going to lip sync against each other.
I did. I even said it to Jim, like right when we got to when they were all on the runway, and I knew who like kind of the tops were, and I like knew who the bottoms were. I was like, oh yeah, Anya's safe. They're lip syncing against each other, and
now,
more than likely,
I never would have entertained if Anya went against Corey that Corey would have won. Not in a million years. No, mama, that's not happening.
No.
So that was how I thought it was just going to play out. It's kind of like, oh, you're finally, your ass is going to go home. Anya's going to send you packing because she's deserves to be here. She's more talented than you. End of story. But I just,
No, honey, that's fact.
I don't have
fact.
No, I don't have
fact.
I don't have Jasmine. Is it Jasmine Masters?
Are you talking about the Facts of Facts, America?
No, I was talking about I said what I said.
Oh, that's Tamisha Iman.
There you go. I was like, there are so many fucking RuPaul Drag Race quotes. Anyways, I don't have a soundboard big enough for all of them. But that's exactly what I said. What I said. Here's the thing. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, she reached the end of her journey. It's done. But I just thought that was wild that like those were the bottom three, and then like suddenly, boop, we're gonna make the lovers lip sync against the other. And I was like, okay. And honestly, I'm just gonna call it out now because we're at the end of the show. We're about to wrap up. I think Anya is like top tier. She has the potential to go all the way to the end.
Right.
I think this was her bump in the road.
Right.
A bad design challenge. It just kind of doesn't work out. It feels very story arc formulaic. I am not saying there's a heavy hand. I'm not saying the production like made it this way. I'm just saying if she makes it to the top and she's in the finale, this is kind of the classic, like she was sort of a dark horse. People underestimated her in the beginning. She was rising and showing, and people were like, who the fuck are you? And now they're like, oh, now she's becoming competition. And then she started to become the one to beat. And and then she had a stumble. So like, it seems very journey. Anyways.
That's an accurate statement. I don't disagree. I think that Anya's a force to be reckoned with, and was drastically overlooked by the other girls, especially early on. I hope that they're not doing like maybe paying more attention at this point to her. I'm not saying it's going to be enough now because we're already,
right.
We're not even, and I love how we keep saying halfway through. We're not. That's the worst part. Still got 9 queens left.
I know.
Oh, anyway.
All right. So with that, tell us your thoughts. There's several ways you can do that. You can go to cubsoutloud.com. You can go on our blog. You can leave a message, comment on a post. You can send us an email. You can go to send it to cubsoutloud@gmail.com, or you can call us. Leave us a little message. 361 COL Talk. That's 361-265-8255. If you want to find us online in social media outlets, just type in the word Cubs Out Loud altogether. If you want to chat with us, we do have a Telegram little group chat going on. It's tinyurl.com/telegram-COLDR to join us. If you want to know when we're going to be doing the main Cubs Out Loud live shows, we're streaming to YouTube. They're typically on Sunday evenings East Coast, but to see that on a calendar, you can go to tinyurl.com/calendar-COL. If you would like to support us, there's several ways you can do that. First up, it's merchandising. You go buy things. We appreciate it. So there are Cubs Out Loud items over at Zazzle.com/Cubs Out Loud, and there are a whole bunch of things that also happen to have the Cubs Out Loud Drag Race logo on them. You can get lovely, fashionable cups. You can get apparel. You can get a purse, I believe, like handbag. It's always fashionable and sensible. There are different things that you can get. You can also become a patron, as Damon pointed out earlier in the show. You can go to patreon.com/Cubs Out Loud, and for $1 or more a month, you can become a patron, and you get the pre and post shows, basically unedited, of how we come across. Or if you'd like, you can give us a tip. You can go to paypal.me/Cubs Out Loud and leave us a one-time tip. We would greatly appreciate it. If you want to listen to Cubs Out Loud Drag Race as its own podcast feed, you can do that. We're basically wherever you can find your favorite podcast in your podcast app. Just look for Cubs Out Loud Drag Race. In order to find us, Damon, where would they go online for you?
If you wish to get in touch with me, you can find me as Theater Cub 79. That's TheaterCub79 on most fair-related sites. Or you can find me as Pup_Umbra on the one site, or Pup_Umbra79 on Blue Sky. Those are not safe for work. For safe for work stuff, you want to go to DMAGamer79 on TikTok, Blue Sky, and the other.
All right. If you wish to get in touch with me, you can pretty much find me anywhere online as GareBear73. I used to have a profile where I sequestered all the drag stuff on that platform we don't talk about anymore. But I haven't done that on Blue Sky or the other ones. And curiously, I don't even think it was Blue Sky that spoiled it for me. But this most recent exit. But anyways, point is, you can pretty much find me on anywhere you can online. And with that, we will be back in a couple of weeks after, hopefully, 2 more queens have gone home, and we are closer to the end of the season. And with that, talk to you later, ladies.
Bye.